like it may be a real test of the Buccaneers' title credentials, their continental obligations, as it begins to get very loud inside the Amstel Arena here. Fans excited to see their heroes who have filled them with so much joy over the course of this season. And as it stands, Pirates do occupy top spot in the Betway Premiership on goal difference alone. And with only a third of the campaign remaining come the final day, goal difference and perhaps even goals scored may be a factor in the equation. The Pirates have only been able to put one goal past Siwelele in two previous meetings this season. They left it late on both instances, 1-0 away win in September's league clash, and again by the very same scoreline at home in the first round of the Carling knockout back in October. Here's their lineup for today. Two changes from Tuesday's win over Richards Bay. Dion Hotto and Patrick Maswanganyi dropped to the bench. Tsipang Moremi started only one of the last 5 in the league, but he is in the 11 today. And of course, Ndaba starts a league game for the first time in exactly a month. Here's William Shongwe with the formations.
Build-up play with speed is what you're more likely to see in their quest to be able to outdo that very strong defense of Siwelele is what we'll be looking at Pirates. Butuma, of course, in front will have support from Police and from Moremi.
Also 2 changes for the visitors. Been a week and a half since they drew 0-0 with Stellenbosch. Kampani Lungu suffered a training injury over the last week or so. Samgelo Zwane also drops out of the 11. Philipoli Mokowane is drafted in, and Tebogo Botsane returns to the lineup, having been left out for the previous game. William?
Not so much in attack, but it is in the middle. Mokowane and Margaman will be doing the hardest job on trying to slow down the Orange Pirates attack. Occasionally, you will see a little bit of Ohizu isolated for the most part. But we'll see how it pans out eventually.
The weekend's Betway Premiership offerings got up and running last night in the Winelands as Stellenbosch came from behind. We do get underway here. Orlando Pirates, since crashing out of the Nedbank Cup, that was 3 weeks ago, they've responded with 3 straight league wins. They've scored 7, they've conceded none. But Siwelele's recent form suggests that there will be no walkover, as they have to do some defensive work early. Mufokeng playing it into space for Apollos, but he's let that one run away as we open what is the latest installment of the most intriguing title tussle in years, William. Botsane dispossessed. Play continues. Mufokeng, Apollos. And still Apollos drives it with the left foot. Goss makes the save.
Pirates are cutting them into pieces in the middle. They're making more forward movements. Obviously, the high press is working in their favor. Police did well to win the ball back and then makes this movement himself maybe not too strong, maybe not too powerful shot. Easy for Ghost to just shuffle across and makes an easy dive. I guess you know, with age, you tend to slow down from working on the line like you used to in the past. So that central position at the back seems to be the more likely one for him to now get used to.
Siwelele getting ahead of Rapo. That's a delightful little touch from Yelena Butuma. And Ricardo Goss has to react in a split second to keep it out.
That's where you want to see Siwelele in an improvisation of the highest kind, and the goalkeeper is told to react to that. That is wonderful goalkeeping.
Well, Ricardo Goss was included as one of the 5 goalkeepers in the preliminary squad for the upcoming friendlies against Panama. There's a squad that will be trimmed down though. Now Talenta Mbata intercepts. Mbata pulling the trigger from range, and it's just wide of the mark. 7 goals from outside the box in the Betway Premiership this season for Pirates, which is the most in the division.
Fantastic player, presence of mind to see when the opportunity is available. Goss nearly gets caught here, a little bit off his line, and he has to scramble a bit to get into the right position to make sure that ball is wide.
There's Mufukeng. Anapolis. Siwelele strikes it. Goss with another stop.
Sometimes you wonder how he makes it into the national team, but if you see the kind of engagement that he comes up with, his influence in the game, makes a lot of sense.
Only 4 sides have kept more clean sheets than Siwelele this season. They're looking for their 10th today. There's only one team that's been able to shut out Orlando Pirates here at their home ground in the league this season, as Ohizu gets on it. And then it squirts out for Sipho Chain to claim.
And now what happens there? That is their conduct just behind Ohizu. He somehow is put off, I think, behind him. Whether just how much was there, yes, I thought so. I'm not saying it could have been a penalty, but he's falling. The fullback is just tumbling over. Somehow there was the slightest of contact that might have put Ohizu off.
Finally got off the mark 2 games back. The winner against TS Galaxy at the end of February. 1-0 victory there as Pule breaks the deadlock against his former side. Who saw that coming? Well, Siwelele have gone almost the opening half an hour without so much as mustering a shot, and when they do, it flies into the back of the net.
Whatever he did to bring it into his stronger foot, and it opened up in front of him, and he sliced it so beautifully down into that left upright to pit China. And obviously, as usual, and I'm sure you've seen it over and over, when players play against their former team, no celebration, which is respectful, of course, but brilliant from Siwelele to be able to grab a goal after being so much under pressure from Orlando Pirates. Now let's see, Potsani does well. Oh, that drop of the shoulder does it so well to clear his space. Yes, not enough cover on space in speed.
Busiest player on the park by far, and he really fizzed that ball beautifully out of hand to Vincent Pule. Came to him with so much pace he actually couldn't control it. Now here's Potsani. Sibisi. Sibilu. Apollo strips into space. Now all hands to the pump in terms of defensive work, and Christian Siwelele having made that tackle. Now Makitleni Makaula. Potsani needs to be careful. Mbata stopped by Goss again, and then thrashed across goal by Moremi. Perhaps not anticipating it was Oswald Apollos who might have been able to fling himself towards that.
The ball lands in front of him, and it's got one thing in mind, is to blast it. And yes, if you think, and that bounce nearly caught Goss off, and he had to wait and delay up until the last minute before he spreads his hands to deflect it out. You know what? Pirates might be trailing, but with the chances of what they created chances, it gives you the belief that, you know, there's always a big chance that they can get one back.
And we're heading into a time period where Siwelele have shipped a lot of goals. Of the 7 first-half goals they've conceded this season, 4 of them have come in the 45th minute and beyond, and meaning into injury time. So there's a precedent for shipping goals just before the interval.
The assistant coach to Siema earlier, as we look at Vincent Pule, he was
Onismo Pasera
he was talking about the lapses of concentration in these critical times. This is exactly where they are right now, and this is what I was concerned about as well, that in the past they have had problems managing the game in this type of conditions.
Apollos. Last chance of the half for Orlando Pirates. Siwelele leaves it for Mofokeng, who might not have been expecting it. Another good tackle from Mokoane. Ruizu down under the challenge. Free kick for the visitors. And they will be able to go into the break with their lead intact.
With already 2 minutes of additional time played. Yes. This is what they'll be looking to. Another clash of knees again.
So the whistle does sound for half-time, and it is Siwelele who taken advantage into the break. Nifonolo Siema will be pleased with the way they come against Orlando Pirates as we get back underway. Scored in 2025 Nedbank Cup quarter-final defeat on penalties with SuperSport United, and in a 1-1 league draw with SuperSport in their final league game of the 2023-2024 season. So he has made a little habit of scoring against the Buccaneers over the years.
Is that a bet, man? I mean, you put it so nicely, and you think to yourself, he must have something to do. I mean, if this player in his whole life, in his professional career, 2 goals and it's against one team, is he more likely to make it 2?
In from the goal scorer, Vincent Pule, was also the scorer of the opener. The only other goal they scored against the Gauteng opposition this season in that 1-1 draw with Mamelodi Sundowns in the final game of 2025. They are yet to beat a Gauteng side this season. They did lose to Pirates, although they drew with both Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns so far. Moremi, shoulder to shoulder. And nothing wrong with that. Fuller strong in the challenge. Bata feeding Moremi. Equalizer for Orlando Pirates. Well, in this tight title race, they know that dropping points cannot happen, and they are back on terms.
The lack of press. Look at the time Bata had on the ball before he slides it through. That for me was the biggest weakness. And also, coach, I guess he thinks he's covered the angle right, and he expect that ball to go a little bit across his face. And Moremi deliberately and decisively plays it into the near post. Remember earlier, Mofokeng wanted to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Goalkeepers sometimes anticipate too much of what's more likely to happen next.
It's a nice idea from Machaman, just doesn't quite come off for him. Oswin Apollos now. Moremi. Evidence Machopa. Well, latch on to the first time pass from Moremi. Machopa blasts it wide.
Didn't have another option. I think our police was running behind, pretty much wide open in the most central. A cut back could have done the trick, but I guess he felt his angle was decent enough for him to take on the goalkeeper. Look at our police chasing from behind, and he's in the space. He can receive. He's waving. He's expecting it. It never came. He had only one thing in his mind.
Rapo receiving from Goss. Oh, Goss is closed down quickly here. Moremi! This time he's denied him.
Yeah, look, Goss' concern there is you passed me at the wrong time. I was under a bit of pressure. You got to be able to size the situation and see and make sure, is it safe enough? Though others will think that maybe Goss had enough, but recovers beautifully to deflect that shot for the corner.
Here's Dion Hotter's ball in. It's another delightful free kick. And again, it's Evans Machupa who has squandered the opportunity.
Making his presence felt in the box. He's always running in there. Sometimes coming a little bit late. Guess maybe didn't see it land.
Well, this would be a massive blow to their title ambitions if they can't find a winner in the closing stages of this match. Orlando Pirates have been expecting to go 3 points clear of Mamelodi Sundowns and then ask the Brazilians to respond on Tuesday as Folosi goes into the referee's book for time wasting from the throw-in.
And with that in mind, I can't help but think about the performance of Mamelodi Sundowns last night.
Oh man, yeah.
And that's why Pirates can't afford to be dropping points. You know, because what is coming next in as far as the Sundowns performance is just out of this world.
Especially not at home. Such a stubborn Siwelele side. No one has been able to beat them in the league since the end of November. Can Pirates do it? And Bata's ball just a bit too strong for Moremi. Siema, Siwelele, Moremi, Mule. Need to show some urgency here. Siema through for Maswangani, slips in Siwelele, it's a waste. Yeah, muttering under his breath is Slamwaru. Not best pleased with what he's just seen from his fullback. Selfishness in a moment where they really needed a little bit of quality.
Cramping, I think it is from Rapo. Look, as he gets up here, his leg is rigid. He's been run down.
Tabo Kalinge,
Yeah.
has leveraged his playing career into a budding career as a broadcaster for the DSTV Disky Challenge. Siwelele fans who've made the trip here to Gauteng. A massive poster of their chairman. I don't know where he might be in the stands. His father is here. Mufuke brings it down. Morala wins pursuit. Moremi, Mufukeng, Machopa. Laid off for Mufuke. Mbule. And blocked away. This is Mazibuko. A chance for Siwelele to spring the ultimate shock in the closing seconds, but ball not the best. Now Siwelele would probably go beyond the 6 additional minutes, considering there was a brief stoppage within injury time as Evidence Machopa gets hold of this one. No, leaning back as he delivered that cross, and it's gone horribly wrong.
I understand your prayer. I guess that's the only way that you can be saved.
Can't be much time remaining now. Maswangani lets it slip away from him. Siema have to look long. Another good interception. And Mazibuko. Hoto. Too long. Final whistle blows. The Orlando Pirates have dropped points. They're only one clear of Mamelodi Sundowns now at the summit, with the Brazilians having a game in hand to come on Tuesday, a game most expect them to win. A credit to Siwelele, who came here on a 6-match unbeaten streak, extending that to 7.
Without a doubt. Listen, from the beginning, the resiliency was there. I mean, the numbers tell you the story. This team is not scoring now, but they're amongst the 4th best defensive record. And that's the character that they showed here today. Obviously, I think Ghost played his side part to help this situation. But Siwelele went on to score a goal at the Orlando Amstel Arena.
Yeah.
Which is what many teams have not been able to do.
Most. Siwelele, who are playing their 10th away game in the Betway Premiership this season, scoring only their 4th goal against a Pirates side who had kept 8 successive league clean sheets at the Orlando Amstel Arena. And the opener for the visitors coming courtesy of a former Buccaneer who declined to celebrate, Vincent Pule, but inside he would have been bursting with joy. The Pirates replied fairly early